If you like what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Patreon.
Welcome back to Tamara Bowling Video Ball Reviews. Today we will be comparing the Storm Level to the Hammer Purple Pearl Urethane to the IQ Tour 78U. Okay, I imagine Purple Hammer aficionados may not worry too much, but those wanting to throw Storm and wanting that shape have been more or less out of luck. The pitch black is still around, but it's not quite the Purple Hammer. The level comes along, and given what we saw in our test, it immediately made me think we need to look at these two next to each other. Then why not also bring along the IQ Tour 78 U, being the other, quote, urethane in the Storm lineup. Straight away, let's address the similarities. All balls have the same finish for testing, and therefore all start early. The most obvious thing is it doesn't matter which ball. If you start too square in the dry, none of these three hold line, at least in this medium light, fresh, walled up house shot. So getting that out of the way, let's talk level versus Purple Hammer. The simplest way to describe the difference is the purple is a touch cleaner and a touch more angular. It's actually pretty simple. They're pretty close in lines. For me, I had to move in a bit with the purple, as it had a bit more defined shape and covered more boards. Now onto the 78U, and again you see the controlled shape, but a lot more archy overall. Very little back end motion. It's very even throughout the lane. Easy to find the pocket, but you have to straddle. I have to straddle closer to the wall of friction. And if I get it there too soon, it's Brooklyn. If I move in just a smidge, it hits with lots of deflection. Yet I still love the pocket control. Just wouldn't make sense in a high scoring environment. I'll say the experience was pretty similar regardless of style bowler. Tyler and I saw almost identical behavior between the Storm Level and Purple Hammer. Level is a touch earlier and smoother. IQ Tour 78U is clearly less ball, which moves you closer to the friction wall, but you can't be right on top of it, as I mentioned. Brian was more or less, on the same line with the Level and Purple, but same thing. Due to the slightly added length, the purple was high flush in those pulls in, just because of Brian's overall shape on the lane. The level just will go a bit high because it's reading a little earlier. The 78U was more tricky for Brian because he's already close to the friction, but the 78U doesn't quite finish the same way on the back end. So it's kind of soft, and then when he moves right into the friction, guess what? It overhooked because it started at his feet, and there wasn't much of a sweet spot, more of a sweet board. Big picture, I think the Storm Level feels like a solid version of the Purple Hammer. That's the takeaway. In the same vein, if Storm makes a Pearl Level, now what? So curious, really, but I think the level's an interesting addition, something a little bit different than the Me Too balls. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.